it kind of made me feel good, because lately my shot been off. It's been inconsistent, and I'm trying to keep my shot consistent so I'll be able to make more shots in the game. And I've been working on my shot lately, so it's kind of coming back together.
What were you guys able to do in the second half particularly to kind of get the tempo back to more where you like it and create more opportunities?
We didn't want to extend our defense too much, but in the second half we kind of went away from just sitting back and plugging all the lane and driving lanes. And we kind of changed our ball screen defense, which kind of made them change their offense. And that kind of sped the game up, and we just continuously, offensively, we still got to get out and run. And I think that kind of wore into them in the second half.
As a shooter, does that kind of help get your legs going a little bit when it's more up and down as opposed to kind of waiting 20 seconds before letting the motion start?
It is and it isn't at the same time. We've done a lot of conditioning to get us in that shape where we're all right to, run a lot. But, it's tough to just kind of play defense for a full 35 seconds and then get out and have to run our play. So.
Obviously, anytime you hit a shot right before half, it gives the team a lift. What do you think your bucket there right before halftime did for this team?
I think it gave us a lift. It was a kind of tough shot, and before that, it was a play we ran for me, and I gave it to Zach, and I got a turnover. So that next play I made had to be a big one, and I made a shot. I practice those sometimes in practice, so it came together today.
You guys obviously go into every game thinking you're going to win. But I guess when you look at it, if you win Tuesday night, if you go to Florida, 5-0, what would that mean for this team to have that kind of start based on all the questions that you had?
I think it's big for us as a team. Just kind of, we've started to figure out who we are now. We've kind of, we've lost those big four pieces, and now we're all sort of coming together and trying to figure out what each of us has to do to make another good team like we had last year. And I think being 5-0 would be big for our confidence, and, we just got to take one day at a time.
Well, it's kind of exciting, going 5-0 and going to Florida, because a lot of people doubted us, and we here standing strong. I know, like Z said, we did lose major parts of our team, but we're still sticking together and fighting.
Any other questions for these guys? All right.
Study a little bit there.
Thanks.
Job done.
Mac, I know you're not putting too big in the count quite yet, but I guess for the identity of this season, what you're trying to do, if you could be 5-0 going to Florida, what's that mean for a coach?
Well, you're right. I'm not thinking about it. Eastern Illinois and Cincinnati are tied at halftime, so that has my attention. I just like where we're at. I like the progress we're making. I like that we found a way to win the last two games with defense when our offense isn't where it needs to be yet. And I think our offense will get better as the season goes on, as these guys get more accustomed to one another. But defensively, to take a team like Oklahoma and to take a team like North Carolina Central, who's so disciplined and precise with what they do offensively, and have them shoot in the mid-30s, back-to-back games is really a credit to our guys and their attention to detail and what we're trying to do and how we're trying to survive defensively. So, I'm thrilled of where we're at. I was scared to death of this game. This is talk about a trap game. This was coming off Oklahoma and all the excitement, in our community about that win. It's easy to have a letdown, and the last thing you want to do is play a team that's as disciplined as North Carolina Central. So I'm absolutely thrilled to get this win, and we're going to have to have a very good mental practice tomorrow, because obviously we're 4 games in 6 days, going to be tough on our bodies, so we have to get some rest. we're going to play a lot of teams that have athletic advantages over us, which is okay. We're fine with that, and the reality of it is most of the teams we played last year had athletic advantages over us. We just have to have execution advantages over them. And one of my messages to the team before the game is we have to out-discipline a disciplined team this afternoon. You know, North Carolina is very good in what they do and how they execute, and we have to find a way to be more disciplined than they are. And you know, only turning it over 9 times and them turning it over 17 is what needed to have what we needed to have happen. Getting to the free throw line, keeping them off the free throw line. Those are all recipes for success for us. So, you know, I think we're getting, as Isaiah said, I think we're getting a better understanding of who we are and you know where the weaknesses are, where our strengths are. I thought the guys did a good job of finding Isaiah after he hit that first one, and then bang, 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 he hits 4 in a row. So those are the type of things that need to happen, and it was good to see it happen the second half.
In the season so far, you guys are averaging about 8 steals a game. It seems like you go 5 games and get that many last year. How much of a difference has that made?
You know, it's made a difference, and I think, you know, you put, you know, guys like Devin and Austin out there together. Isaiah's done a good job sneaking into the right places at the right time and get some steals. So that wasn't necessarily the strength of who we were last year. And, you know, we were at times taking a few more chances. In the second half, we had Austin try to keep the ball out of McDonald's hands after he gave it up. And, you know, that's going to wear into a guy over the course of the game. So, you know, that has been certainly a bright spot in our defense, but you know, in general, defensively, I'm pretty pleased where we've moved to after the first 2 games. I wasn't thrilled with our defense those first 2, and the last 2 it's been much better.
Coach, talk about it. Ever since you've been here, you talk about making more free throws than the other team attempts. Today it was 22-0. I mean, what you made versus what they made. Talk about about the aggressiveness of the team, especially when you get into the bonus and double bonus to make those opportunities happen.
In both halves, we got into the bonus relatively early, and that's really been the case in most of the games this year. And you know, part of it is who we are. You know, we really have Austin and Devin, 2 point guards out there a lot together. Isaiah has a way of getting fouled because of the pace he plays with. I think Ricky, even though it looks like he plays with reckless abandon, sometimes he gets fouled a lot and is able to get himself to the free throw line. So, you know, Doug was the guy last year that kind of got fouled. Jahans didn't get fouled much. Grant, not that often. So just more guys that I think can put pressure on the rim with the dribble, where last year we put pressure on the rim with Doug's cuts. This year we can put pressure on the rim with several guys off the dribble, and you know, you get a lot of one-on-one isolations because of the threat of the shot. You know, if you're going to sit in that gap and Austin or Devin puts it on the ground and you leave Isaiah or Ricky or James standing there, or Toby, you know, you're asking for it. So we get some one-on-one isolations. They're able to attack and get back on their heels, and it gets us to the free throw line. And along with that, you have to play without fouling on the other end. And I think we only had 11 fouls for the game tonight. And the Oklahoma game, our foul count was down, and that has to be who we are. And you know, obviously, as we get farther into the season and the front lines, you know, where we're giving up a lot of size or athletic ability, we're going to have to change what we do to try to trump that. But you know, right now, I like where we're at defensively, and I think we're able to execute our defense without fouling, and that's an emphasis of ours every day in practice.
We've seen it a lot over the years. You will miss an easy shot, scrap it for a rebound, throw something up to go, and it's fouled. I guess just talk a little bit about whether it's tenaciousness or whatever that he shows up.
I really liked the way he started the second half. I thought his energy and Ricky's energy in particular. You know, Ricky dove for a loose ball, and you know, that stuff just. I think the rest of your team can feed off that type of effort and energy. And you know, Will's always been a guy that'll miss one that you can't believe he missed, and then he'll throw something up there, and it'll bounce around the rim and go in. But you know, he's been pretty consistent for us, and you know, he is who he is. He's not a guy that's going to sit on the block and you know, get big and wide, and you throw it in there, and he's going to make a power move. He's going to make sometimes an unorthodox post move. But the combination of he and Zach, and I thought Jeff gave us good minutes in both halves tonight. We're going to need those 3 guys, and they were good again tonight.
Obviously, this is a short thread. How is this Eastern Illinois matchup almost as important as these last 2, considering how important it will be to go with confidence before you get
play 30-some of them, so they're all important. You know, in the grand scope of things, I mean, you know, we're all of a sudden, it's ticking, and before we know it, we'll have played 25% of our season. It's going to happen pretty fast. So, you know, these guys only get so many opportunities. You have all these practices, and you only get so many chances to play on game night. So you want to take full advantage and make sure you prepare yourself each time. I have watched 0 of Eastern Illinois so far. Obviously, I'll dig into them tonight. But, you know, the fact that they're at Cincinnati and tied at halftime tells me something, and I'm sure when Cincinnati looks at our box score and sees that it was 27-22 at halftime, that North Carolina Central will have their attention. You know, there's so much parity in college basketball, and obviously we played a team that's extremely well coached, that knows how to win, that's won a lot of games, that believes they're going to win, and that's a dangerous team to play, and that's why the game was close for as long as it was. No, not at all. There isn't much that Dev does that is exactly like I draw up. Devin will be Devin.